everyone, and welcome back to my channel for another Sims 4 speed build. Today I have a cozy family cottage style home for you guys, which is a recreation of a real home that I found online, which is located in North Carolina. So that's where I got the name Carolina Cottage. I wanted to build something sort of southern-ish, and so I was on Google Images searching and typing in various, phrases to try to find something that I didn't really know for sure what I was looking for. And when I saw this picture, I thought it really seemed like it would be cute, a bit challenging with the roof design, but really kind of appealed to me to at least give it a shot. The only bad part about the roof is that it is sort of blocking the upstairs bedroom, which you'll see more of that in a little bit. But I still wanted to go ahead and recreate the house anyway, just because I thought it was really, really cute. And I think it's still good for gameplay, even though that upstairs has a little bit of an obstruction. But anyway, I chose to build this house in Brindleton Bay. This is a 30 by 20 lot. I thought it sort of had a bit of a Carolinas type of vibe since, New England and the Carolinas are not too far apart, right? I mean, just a little further south. So I feel like these beautiful trees and rolling hills that are just along the coastline would fit for the Carolinas, as close as we could out of the different worlds that I had to choose from. So hopefully you think so too. But like I said, this house I found online. I did put a picture of it over on my Instagram, like I always do, and that account is also ErikaBuilds. So if you'd like to go over there and take a look at the real home, you can see if you think it's pretty close to the original. I think for the most part, I was able to recreate pretty close to what was in the photo. The roof, like I said, was challenging. It's maybe not exactly the same, but it's pretty close. But the exterior of this house is a combination of vertical and horizontal siding that I chose this sort of beige tan color, because that's what, the original house had as well. And I'm assuming that siding is probably like a cedar or like a hardy plank type siding, because it is more, wider than like a traditional vinyl siding. So I chose the wider wallpaper swatch, which I believe is base game. You can see here that I'm starting to work on the back of the house as well, and so I kind of thought a back porch would be nice and seemed very fitting with this, style of home. But I actually ended up later in the video expanding that rear and adding on, because even though this house seemed like it was going to be big enough and it was only a cottage, I just couldn't really get enough space for a master bedroom. And so that's why I decided to go back and add sort of like an addition onto the back for the master, and then that pushed the porch back a little bit, but you'll see that in a minute. And here I am adding the fireplace, which I did kind of a combination of the chimney and then the half wall around the bottom to make it a little bit taller. In the picture of the real house, they had these sort of like red curtains or shades or something. I think it was probably for blocking the sun that was along the frame of the front porch, but I couldn't find anything in the game that was close. And so I ended up not doing it because I just felt like I could have gone with blue. We did have a blue curtain that was similar, but I don't know. I just thought that if it wasn't going to be red, that I just was going to leave it out. So I decided just to skip that part. Okay, so now I'm inside working on the floor plan, which if you have built smaller type houses before, I consider this a pretty small house for me because normally I build pretty big family homes. This was very challenging because I really don't like working in rooms that are super cramped and tiny. And so I was trying to figure out a way to work with what I had here, but I didn't want it to feel really claustrophobic, you know? So I played around with a bunch of different ideas at first I had like a mud room on the side that was coming into the kitchen, and then I didn't really have room for a dining room, and so I was just gonna put like a table in the kitchen for eating, but I don't know, I just really felt like the house needed a dining room. I feel like part of that Southern culture, my parents are from the South, and so I guess I feel like I kind of know what Southern homes are like because that's where all my family and relatives live, that the dining table is a very important part of the home. You know, when I think about going to my grandma's or my aunts and uncles or whatever, you know, big meals around the table are just really instrumental to life in the South, at least everywhere that I've been. So I reworked that first floor to get a nice big farm style table. And that was another reason why I had to build on a bit. Oh, you can see there's that sort of annex that I added to the back to give more space to have a full dining room on the first floor. And then by putting that dining room there, I had to scrap the mud room / laundry room. And so I ended up putting the laundry room in the basement, which I think is fine. You know, that's pretty typical of suburban houses. A lot of times you see the laundry in the basement. So I felt like it was still, you know, a pretty logical choice. And so here you can see where I added on, and then I went ahead and still did a back porch right off of the master, and then a full-size deck for the grill and little patio set there. So this was sort of a process. I have to say this house was probably one of the most difficult projects I've worked on in a while, which seems kind of funny because it's so small that you wouldn't think a small house would be that much of a struggle. But I was really struggling with the limited space. In fact, this kitchen, as you can see, is very small, hardly any room for counters. But it has everything that you need. It has a fridge and stove and sink and dishwasher. And then there you can see that big farmhouse table that I made room for in the front. So I took that wall out and made that kitchen and dining room just all one big room. And then the office, well, I really wouldn't call it an office. The computer area is just on the opposite side leading into the living room. Okay, so now you can see the living room area. As far as these colors that you're seeing, lots of browns and tans and natural woods. Basically, I chose those because with the outside of the house being tan and thinking sort of the Carolinas, I just kind of wanted it to have a little bit more of a, I wouldn't say rustic. I don't know what you would call that. I guess it's a little bit woodsy and southern-ish. I don't have a technical term for it, but I felt like and those floorboards and everything were sort of a charming Southern style. And of course, a fireplace is important when you're going for that cozy, sort of cute cottage style home. I feel like you've got to have a fireplace. And I love that Strangerville rug with the jungle adventure couches. I think those really match nicely. And I added a TV there as well. There's not really much room to work with in this living room. I just put some artwork on the walls, and I chose that big Seasons mural of the mountains because I felt like that looked very North Carolina-ish. I have some relatives that live right on the kind of near Asheville, North Carolina, and so it made me think of their home and where they live. Okay, so I'm kind of working on this whole first floor at the same time. The little office corner there, again, the brand new desk and bookshelf that we got in the last patch update, which I'm still obsessed with. I think I used that bookcase 3 or 4 times in this house. It's new and shiny and exciting, so have to use it, where I can. I like this choice though, because I feel like with the natural wood and sort of southern rusticy vibe that I was going for, that style of desk really fit the theme of the house. And I really like how that laundry day rug looks under that desk as well. I just love these natural tones, natural woods. And there's the leaning artwork, which is also new. I use that also in the master bedroom as well. So I'm still getting a lot of use out of all the new stuff. And over here's a nice big dining table. The only bad thing about this small kitchen is there is no island or bar stool area, which is kind of a bummer. But when I put in those stairs for the basement, it pretty much took out one whole side of the kitchen. So there was no way I was going to be able to fit an island there. But I did manage to squeeze in a little area for the dog with the leash shelf and the food dish. The nice thing about a house with a basement is if you want to add more, if you download this house from the gallery and you want to have a bar area or you want to have more bedrooms or whatever you want, it's very, very easy to add in the basement because you don't have to worry about messing up like the exterior of the home or trying to figure out how to add on to the existing structure. You can just put as many rooms in the basement as you want. I'm one of those people that I guess I don't really mind if the basement rooms go outside of the actual perimeter of the house. I don't think it's a big deal. So, you can always add more stuff below, and of course even a second basement if you wanted to. You can just keep going and adding and adding. So here I am working in the master bedroom, again sticking with lots of browns and tans, and this bed is from Cats and Dogs as well as those matching bedside tables. And you can see there I'm using that new leaning artwork again on a shelf just over the headboard. I thought that looked pretty nice. I've been thinking a lot about this freelance career, and so I'm kind of a little bit obsessed right now with these digital drawings and using those in the house. So this would be a really good house for a freelance sim as well. I'm using a lot of the same window treatments in this house, and the same sort of wallpapers, and of course the flooring is the same. So it's got a very uniform interior style. That little comfy chair there is also from Cats and Dogs, as well as that dresser. So it kind of gave like a little reading corner there by the window in the master, and then the sliding doors go right out to a little porch. There's that new bookcase again. I'm still obsessing and putting that everywhere. I can't help it. I love it so much. I've got quite a bit of jungle adventure in this house. The kitchen and that mirror there that I just put in this room. Of course, the couch is in the living room. I think it goes really nicely with a southern sort of rustic style, along with Cats and Dogs. A lot of the wood swatches actually match each other pretty well. Okay, so here's this little back porch right off the master. A couple of chairs, some wind chimes, just like a nice place to sit and relax. And then right off the kitchen, there's a pretty good sized deck with a grill and patio set. Okay, so this is the master bedroom bathroom, which was a little bit tricky just because there were so many windows in here, but that was something that I had taken from the photo of the real house, so I wanted to leave those if possible. So I was kind of working around those. But this bathroom set is from Cats and Dogs, and then that wallpaper swatch is Parenthood, and the floors are Jungle Adventure. I would say those 3 packs are probably the majority of this house. So if you have those 3, you should be in good shape to use this. Again, keeping the same window treatments, lots of browns, and adding some artwork there along the stairs. That little notch out there was originally where the mudroom was, but now it's just kind of a side entrance. And I use that same laundry day rug out here underneath the patio set in that natural fiber. I really like that. Okay, so here's this pain in the you-know-what bedroom upstairs. I get so annoyed when I have these roofs where you can't, like, there's literally no way to get rid of this roof. Like, a lot of times when you're roofing, you can, it's kind of hard to explain, but you can like put another roof and line it up on the lower level and then blend those 2 roofs together. But with this particular home, that was not possible because the roof line actually went from the top of the house all the way down to the first floor. So I had to use one like continuous hipped roof. So it leaves that sort of obstruction in the way as I was trying to furnish this little bedroom up here. Now, when you're in gameplay mode, in live mode, and you're playing in a room like this, that will sort of cut away, so you will be able to see your sim when they're in that room. It's just really difficult for building. You know, I obviously can't design a room with walls down because then I won't be able to place any decor. So I was having a heck of a time trying to kind of like squeeze my camera down into the bedroom and like angle it up and try to look at the walls. It was a nightmare. So this room was a lot of trouble. But I mean, it has the basics. You know, there's a bed, there's a computer, there's a closet, a mirror. So it's definitely a functioning bedroom. And then there's a nice sized bathroom up here as well. I just sort of imagine this for pretty much any age child. You know, it is a single bed. You could switch that to a toddler bed if you wanted to make this for a toddler. And this bathroom is mostly parenthood mixed with cats and dogs. It's very similar to the downstairs bathroom. So that's all that's up here on this top floor. It's just one bedroom and one bathroom. And then in the basement is where I put the laundry room, and then I put another bedroom down here for a teen or a young adult. I was kind of thinking a teen just because when I was selecting the decor, I was going with a lot of music stuff. Well, you'll see that in a minute. This is the laundry room here. So as you first come down the stairs out of the kitchen straight to the laundry room, which is kind of convenient, I guess, to be, have the laundry room and the kitchen pretty close together. And I just put mostly all laundry day stuff down here. I did use that utility shelf from Strangerville and some of those like Rubbermaid sort of boxes from Outdoor Adventure or Outdoor Retreat. Yeah, Outdoor Retreat, not Outdoor Adventure. So I did put some sort of basement-y type stuff in this room, and also a punching bag. Is it a punching bag? Yeah, punching bag. There it is. I put that down there as well. And I play tested it just to make sure it would work because I kind of tucked it under the stairs there. So it's sort of a laundry room / basement storage room, and you could even put more stuff down here if you have other things you need to store and get out of the way. And of course you can always expand these rooms down here in the basement really easily. Okay, so here is this teen bedroom. I tried to stick with the same sort of tones, so there's sort of a brownish tone to the room, but then I added some blue and peach as well to sort of brighten it up just a little bit, so it's a little more colorful than the master. That dresser is from Get Famous, and so is that chair, and the bed is cats and dogs. There's that new bookcase again, and that little nightstand that looks like suitcases. I think that's City Living. Yeah. So you can see here lots of blues, browns, beige, peach. And I just put some clutter and things. And then I did a full-size desk with computer. And then I also did the, what's it called? The music mixing table, mixing station with like some guitars and musical instruments. And I kind of imagined that maybe this teen was interested in music production or DJing or sound mixing, or maybe they're a performer. I don't know. So I was picking a lot of music stuff out of the catalog that I could find. We don't really have a ton of musical type decor. We have some stuff. That DJ stuff I think is from Get Together. And I think there were a few other music posters that I got out of Base Game. And of course a stereo, because if you're a musician, you gotta have a stereo. And just some clutter items for the desk. So I think a teen would be pretty happy down here. I mean, the only bad thing is when you have a bedroom in the basement, obviously you do not have a window. But I think a teen would sort of like to be down here by themselves, away from the rest of the family. So I think it works. But this is really about it for this house. So it's a small house, that's why I called it a cottage. It's not very big. Probably if I wouldn't have added on, it would have only been for one sim. So by adding the basement, it did give room for a few more sims. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this build. If you want to download this house, it is available in the gallery. My ID is ErikaBuilds. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. So have a great day. Bye-bye.